Anthology, Syracuse has summoned the champions of Dirt's Weekend Warriors make their pilgrimage to the Moody Mile and Super Dirt Week, all seeking immortality and victory at Syracuse. For nearly a century, this mecca of dirt racing has dared those who would be fast, and always just one who receives the calling will survive and conquer its treachery. The field is set. Once again, the Moody Mile beckons with Dirt's Ultimate Championship, the Wheels 300, next on Prime.
At the hottest driver on the dirt circuit the last 2 years, barefoot Bob McCready. Hello everybody, I'm Doug Logan and welcome to the world's richest race on dirt, the Wheels 300. Bob, you won this event back in 1986. You've come close on countless occasions, yet you felt compelled to build a new car for this specific event. How good is this car?
Well, the car's real good, but, you know, it's not proven, so hopefully we can prove it today.
Bob, you've won so many races. How important is it for you to win this one today?
Well, it was important for us to get focused on something for this year. You know, we've had a lot of good years, and we wanted to get focused for something, and we decided to build the car, so that's kept us busy all summer, and you know, it's more the building of the car and the camaraderie with the guys, you know. The race is secondary. We'll go out and see what we can do now.
Have a great day.
Thanks, John.
Bob McCready, they call him the master of going faster. He's poised to do just that here at the State Fairgrounds. Working with me is the voice of dirt motorsports in the Northeast, Gary Montgomery.
The pole sitter today, in his third pole ever here, and a fourth-time champion of this race is Brett Hearn. Brett, your car not all that radical looking, but obviously your brother Bobby has built you a first-class jet. Tell us about the car.
Yeah, he has done a really nice job with the car. An outstanding engine by Tony File. It's really a converted short-track car, but it felt comfortable the other 2 times we had it here this year. We decided to come back with it. It was good right out of the box. It's worked to our advantage so far.
Now the tough question. Can the Auto Palace Racing Team system produce a record 5th win here on the Moody Mile at Syracuse?
Well, we've discussed a lot of different combinations of things that could happen today, and I think we're ready for anything that gets thrown our way. I think they'll come through.
Good luck. Thank you. Starting alongside Brett Hearn is the defending champion of this race, Jimmy Horton. A writer once said, Jimmy, that a driver can never come, or a person can never go home. Well, obviously, not only can you come home, but you came home in great style with a win here last year.
Yeah, we run good last year. You know, team was behind us. We had a real good team. You know, that's the key to the whole deal, where I just had to drive the car.
Can you make it 2 in a row?
Well, we got everything here for it. You know, it's just got to get the brakes we need and, you know, the car to come around a little bit, and we'll be in good shape.
Is this the same car you drove to victory last year?
No, this is the car to run second.
Ran second. Very interesting. There's your front row. They're both from New Jersey. We're here at the New York State Fairgrounds in New York State, so we got Jersey drivers up front. Their biggest problem today is they've got 46 drivers behind them that are all trying to share, take the lion's share of the $350,000 at stake. Standing alongside one of those drivers right now is our pit road reporter today, the senior editor of Stock Car Racing magazine, Andy Fusco.
Gary, not just one of the drivers, but the driver who's become the standard here in modified racing. Dave Blaney, you don't race with these guys on a weekly basis, but they think you're the man to beat. Does that add to the pressure?
Well, I don't have any pressure, and I don't think I'm the guy to beat. So we're just here to race hard, and you know, these guys do this all summer. So we just try to come in here and race with them.
2 years in a row now, you've had the fastest car and come up short. How frustrating is that?
Oh, I don't know. You win races, you lose races. It wasn't frustrating. You know, we got a good car today, and we're starting up near the front, so we're just going to try to hang in there and see if we can be around at the end.
There's no pressure on Dave Blaney. The same can't be said for the rest of the field. They say Syracuse is won or lost in the pits with that story by pit partner Doug Elkins.
Andy, the three items that we have here in the pits next to me could very well decide the winner of today's Wheels 300. They're going to need 2 fuel stops to run 188 laps around this Syracuse mile today. They're going to take a look at the tires along the way, too. They may have to make a tire change at some point during the race. And, of course, the strategy itself on when to pit could also decide. Are you going to follow the leader, or are you going to make your own strategy? And, of course, there's a $10,000 bonus on lap 100. Dave Blaney stayed out, tried to collect that bonus last year, and it may have cost him the race. So what's going to happen down here in the pits could very well decide the winner of this year's Wheels 300.
The stage is set for the greatest spectacle on dirt. The drivers are ready for the run to racing immortality. It's the Wheels 300 on Prime.
The Wheels 300 on the Motorsports Hour by Chevrolet is brought to you by Wheels Discount Auto Supply Stores, Champion Spark Plugs, the Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame and Classic Car Museum, and by Chevrolet. One automotive company has won more races over the last 30 years than anyone else. Genuine Chevrolet.
When you work with guys like Waltrip, Petty, and Wallace, you learn that keeping a car on the road means preventing problems before they start. And that's especially true with radiators. Radiator Restorer Sealer Conditioner prevents the buildup of rust and sludge that causes radiator failure, and it stops radiator leaks in seconds. Radiator Restorer lubricates and conditions your entire cooling system, plus it's environmentally safe. Why wait till problems heat up? Use Radiator Restorer and keep your cool.
Can a credit card make you unique? Actually, it just might. You see, your MasterCard is meant for you and you alone. Even if someone steals it, you don't have to worry about a thing. Just call right away and cancel it. So even if someone does manage to charge something to you, you won't pay a cent. We may even be able to get you a new card the next day, which ought to give you some peace of mind. And that's certainly a unique feeling. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
Over the course of a lifetime, you'll drive over 750,000 miles. Along the way, you'll go through 14 mufflers, 857 quarts of oil, 9 alternators, 98 brake pads, 11 batteries, 120 spark plugs, and a whole lot of other things for your car. All of which you can find at Wheels Discount Auto Parts, because Wheels has over 100,000 parts in stock, discount priced every day. Which means if you like working on your car, you've got a great life ahead of you. Just can't get along without your wheels.
Well, the guy that owns a station across the street is, well, he's sort of a show-off. He's real proud of this sporty new car he just bought. Only thing is, he wants to use the highest octane he can find, and unfortunately for him, that means Sunoco Ultra 94. It's the highest octane of any major brand. Hey, I keep catching him looking over here. Well, he's still got his pride, but I've got his gasoline.
On a cool and blustery day in Syracuse, welcome back to the New York State Fairgrounds for the Wheels 300 on Prime. We have a crowd of over 40,000 on hand to witness Dirt's richest race. And let's take a look at our starting lineup. On the pole out of Sussex, New Jersey, 4-time winner Brett Hearn. Outside row 1, the defending champion from Somerville, New Jersey, Jimmy Horton.
Second row starters, Billy Decker out of Unadilla, New York, and the Wheels Auto Supply car 91, and alongside the versatile Billy Pouch out of New Jersey in the Olson car number M1.
Row 3 for 2 years, the hottest driver on dirt, Barefoot Bob McCready, a former winner, and 2-time winner Jack Johnson.
Back in row 4, Canadian Joe Plazik out of Caister Center, Ontario, in a family-owned automobile. Alongside is the 54-year-old driver out of Cortland, Ohio, Lou Blaney.
On to row 5, and there's Lou's son, Dave Blaney, twice a runner-up in this event, and making his first ever start in the Wheels 300 out of Pulteney, Vermont, Dave Camara.
Starting in position number 11 is veteran driver Jeff Hetzler out of Wallkill, New York, in the Reclamation car number 33. Alongside will be a second-generation driver, Mike Rickey from Kingston, New York, in the bumper-to-bumper car 673.
Now, the top 6 starting positions were decided during Wednesday's qualifications. The remainder of the spots through a complicated process combining time trials and race results. And as the fans look on, Gary, take us through the remainder of the starting lineup.
122 tried and 49 have made it for this very prestigious event. There we see Bobby Varon starting in row number 9. Pete McNell, a Canadian, in row 10. Tommy Corrales, 18 times a driver in this event. Pat Ward, a second-generation driver out of Genoa, New York. Luke Plant from Quebec is in the field. Gilly Tagg out of Rochester. And a real surprise, David Axton, a rookie in this race. Johnny Moravec has made the field for the second year in a row. Donnie Ackner and Pennsylvania driver Jeff Strunk, two-time winner Alan Johnson. You know, Doug, that there are many track champions in this field. To have simply made this race is a great accomplishment. They've tried all summer long, and many of them have worked their entire lifetime to make it into the Wheels 300.
49 cars and 49 skilled drivers. It's the largest starting field of any championship race in the country. The pulse quickens as all eyes are set on pole sitter Brett Hearn. The green flag is out, and the 1995 Wheels 300 is on. Race cars 3 and 4 wide down the front straightaway. Turn 1, Brett Hearn has the lead. Then it's Billy Pouch, and in third place, it's Jimmy Horton.
As they shuffle the deck in turn 2, Decker takes over the number 3 spot. Here they come out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Lou Blaney gets out of shape, touches the wall, but he saves it and holds on. His son is tucked in right behind him, looking for room on the inside as they enter turn number 3. So the Blaneys battle in turns 3 and 4.
A look at our in-car camera, sponsored by Pennzoil, in the car of Joe Plozek. There is the second place car of Billy Pouch.
And Decker has caught him as they enter turn number 2. Decker rides to the bottom of the racetrack, and there is Jack Johnson holding on to 4 side by side as Horton slips up the top side and McCready makes a pass.
A look at Jimmy Horton and Bob McCready and Joe Plozek as they roar down the backstretch and into turn number 3.
Canada Joe and his Maple Leaf Special working all over the rear Nerf bar of Bob McCready as they leave turn 4 there. You saw Jimmy Horton's car in the screen as well. They head down the front straightaway.
Let's take you back to the front of the pack. Brett Hearn leads this race. Billy Pouch and Billy Decker battling for second and third place.
Pouch's car washing out just a little bit. Decker's car working on the bottom. Here's Johnny Moravec slowing on the front straightaway. The water wagon has a problem. The Penn Yan New York driver pulls to the top of the racetrack.
We don't see a yellow flag. There's still green at the New York State Fairgrounds. Now, we talked about Billy Pouch charging to second place. How about Bob McCready, who looks to be struggling?
He is struggling a bit. The car not working in the corners, is washing out a bit, entering turn number 3 and entering turn number 1. We'll watch that situation unfold as veteran driver Lou Blaney has his sights on McCready as they work out of turn 2 and head down the back straightaway.
Jimmy Horton and Joe Plozek, then McCready. This car built especially for Syracuse by Bob, and he's gambled the works here this weekend.
Certainly has. It's a radical looker, and it's certainly very, very different. A lot of people talking about it. The big question was, would he get through tech? He did, and now the question is, will the car work in racing conditions?
Gary, fourth place, currently held down by many-time Fonda Speedway track champion Jack Johnson out of Waynesburg, a two-time winner.
Doug, he's over 50 years old, but he's feeling very, very racy here today. Earlier this season, he's won a couple of 200-lappers, so he has definitely got his stuff going for 1995.
Always a hard charger. Jimmy Horton has fallen back from second to fifth. Is he mishandling?
Yeah, tricycling on a short track is great, but on the Moody Mile, it simply doesn't work.
Neither does this. Bobby Varon is stopped on the front straightaway, and we have a yellow flag out in Syracuse.
A terrible disappointment for the 24-year-old driver who won a $17,000 race at Fonda earlier this summer.
Let's hope that Bobby can get refired and back into the fray.
More from the Wheels 300 after this on Prime.
Who do you ask for advice before you go shopping?
My mom.
My friends. My wife.
But whose advice do you really trust?
Consumer Reports.
Consumer Reports. Consumer Reports.
Call now for Consumer Reports, the magazine that tells you the unbiased truth about the products you buy. Consumer Reports tests and rates hundreds of brand name products so you can compare
Prices.
Repair records.
Features. Brand names.
On everything from toothpaste to TVs, hoses to hotels, autos to airlines, and more. Subscribe to Consumer Reports now and get 12 valuable issues, including the annual auto issue and our 96 buying guide for fast access to the facts. You'll also get the 1995 buying guide and how to clean practically anything, all for just $24, a total savings of over $41. Get the truth about the products you buy with Consumer Reports. If you prefer, have your credit card ready when you call now.
Sunshine on ice. This right melody has the Panthers primed for the postseason, but a winter storm can ruin that crop, and Tampa is going to provide the lightning. The Lightning and the Panthers, Saturday at 7:30 live on Sunshine.
Welcome back to the Wheels 300 on Prime. We're at the New York State Fairgrounds. Doug Logan along with Gary Montgomery. And Gary, we're 27 laps into this 188-lap event. Are things starting to settle down for these drivers?
Yeah, they're settling in right now. We've got everybody running single file for the restart, and there won't be a whole lot of passing right now as they settle in and try to figure out how they're going to work their pit stop strategy. That'll be coming up a little later on. We'll get into that later. But on the restart, it was Hearn blasting out front with that Auto Palace automobile, and what a system they've got going for them here every year at Syracuse.
All these drivers enter this race with a definite pit strategy, don't they?
Generally, yes, and then it all changes when the actual caution flag comes out. There's a window in which they can pit, and there is a mandatory pit stop, and they must pit within that window. But they're all gambling on going the distance. They want to lead that very last lap. There'll be some people gambling on lap number 100. That's a $10,000 lap. We'll talk more about that later as well. So there's a strategy before the race gets underway, but generally it'll change a bit as the situation unfolds.
A look from the in-car camera of Joe Plosick as Plosick duels with Jimmy Horton.
And Dickie Larkin is in trouble. The driver out of Sheffield, Massachusetts, the Budweiser 99, hits down pit row very, very slowly. Looks like his race day is over here early at Syracuse.
Action on the backstretch in the middle of the pack. The white 702 is Alan Johnson. He's jumped from 40th to 26th. And the blue number 35 is driven by Richard Tobias. He started 43rd. He's now up to 28th.
Oh, this youngster is so exciting, Doug, no matter where he runs. But here on the mile at over 140 miles an hour down the straightaway, and he'll run into the corners higher than anybody else. He struggled all week to simply make this race.
A look from the Pennzoil in-car camera of Joe Plosick, and look at who is behind Joe. It is Jimmy Horton. Plosick has gotten Jimmy Horton. He now stands in 5th place.
What a disappointing run here early for Jimmy Horton, the sensational one out of New Jersey. And here we see the replay, and here is Plosick working the inside. We talked earlier about the car of Horton tricycling. Well, it doesn't quite show us his tricycling here, but it's definitely out of shape.
So it's Joe Plosick, Jimmy Horton, and Bob McCready, currently 5th, 6th, and 7th on the racetrack.
Showing 8th was Jeff Hessa. We look further back in the pack, and we see David Blaney, the hotshot driver, who is double duty here this weekend, driving both the World of Outlaws sprint car, and for today's race, he's buckled up in the Billy Taylor brand new Tio car.
Look how high Blaney got.
That's right. They had a problem qualifying as well, and that car is not handling. He's also had a problem on the racetrack. We see damage to the left rear quarter panel of the automobile. So someplace on the racetrack, somebody made contact with David Blaney.
Gary, our leaders are in lap traffic, and look at Billy Decker. Close in on Billy Pouch for 2nd place.
Frank Jazabowski, the lap car directly in front, will impact this pass perhaps as Decker looks to the inside, but no room there as Jazabowski has that lane all filled up.
Pouch heads to the outside and slides high. Here comes Decker down underneath.
Pouchy went in just a little bit too hot, and it opened up the lane for Decker. Decker blasts on by. He'll now try to make his way around Jazabowski. Here we see leader Hearn working his way around the outside of Brian Weaver. Tucked in behind him is another of the Red 1 cars. This is C.D. Coville, a team car to Blaney's automobile. Weaver goes a lap down.
So Brett Hearn handled that pack of lap traffic very, very adroitly.
He is a master on the mile. He comes prepared probably better than any other driver. It's a team effort. We talked about the system earlier. Well, that team has replayed their strategy for this race a number of times. They've got 13 team members ready to service that automobile when they do make their pit stop later on. But of course, it's the strategy that we talked about a number of times. And right now, strategy to the win. He's just got such an advantage over the rest of the field that it's no contest for the lead right now.
You can look at the interval and see Brett Hearn clearly way out in front. Billy Decker is 2nd as the race cars, the leaders, come right down the front straightaway.
Here's Canadian Joe Plosick moving around the outside of Guy Sheldon now. Plosick wants to become the first ever Canadian winner of this race. Oh, a car against the wall. It's Brian Weaver, young driver of Conklin, New York, has hit the wall, flipped his car. It now rests on its top in turn number 1. Just a few hours ago, this young driver is so very, very happy to have made his first ever Wheels 300. And now his dreams are shattered as the car sits on its top in turn 1.
A look at the replay, as we can tell you that we do see movement in the car from Brian Weaver. The Dirt Rescue team alertly right on the spot. Look at that horrific accident in turn number 1.
As he came down the front straightaway, he was approaching 145 miles an hour, and he didn't scrub off a whole lot of speed before he collected the wall, Doug. So it is a major problem, a heavy hit. We're at lap 47. We could see pit stops happening any time now.
In fact, Brett Hearn stays out, but Billy Decker and Billy Pouch are headed into the pits. Let's go down to Andy Fusco.
Billy Decker brings the Wheels number 91 into his pit lane. He's just taken over second place from Billy Pouch. Pouch follows him in. Decker's crew fuels up. They check the right rear, check the left rear. Both tires look good. This is going to be a gas and go. Decker gets away in 12.13 seconds.
Gary, a good stop for Billy Decker. Jimmy Horton is getting pushed away. There goes Jack Johnson. Also, Billy Pouch still on the jacks.
He's losing a lot of very valuable time, and they don't want to lose it here. This is the way to pick up some spots generally, but it's not going to work for Billy Pouch. You can see the congestion down here at the head of pit road. Oh boy, here is the Hetzler car trying to make his way out. In contact as Doug Hoffman runs right over the Hetzler car. McCready is trapped in behind. He lost several spots just coming out of the pits, but he lost a number of spots. A long, long pit stop for both of the Blaney's. They've made major chassis adjustments. David Blaney is away, but that was a long, long stop, giving up a whole lot of very valuable track position.
Another look at the Brian Weaver automobile. We'll be back on Prime.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common: the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
These automotive professionals just witnessed an amazing demonstration.
It works! Oh my God!
We ran this 500 horsepower engine after draining all the oil. Before we drained the oil, we added just one bottle of a revolutionary new engine treatment, Duralube. By bonding to the metal inside your engine, Duralube protects like no other regular oil or additive can, giving you better mileage and longer engine life. Duralube, in a class by itself.
On Sunshine, give it to me, baby. All right, the ACC is the place to be, baby. And Jacksonville and Florida teams playing your game. And don't forget the Pac-10, moving it up and slamming it down. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Your favorite team's playing your game all season on Sunshine.
Bob McCready has fallen back through the field, and Hugh Naylor's here with me. Hugh, what happened out there?
Our stop went good, but then there was a cluster here at the end of pit road, and we had to come to a full stop and lost a ton of cars. So we're back in the middle of the pack right now, not where we really want to be.
What's Bob saying about the car?
Oh, he said it was a little tight right now, so we changed the stagger, and hopefully that'll help it out.
Bob McCready hoping the car will loosen up as the race goes on, and he's got a lot of work to do here as they go back to green.
And Gary back to work. Brett Hearn, he's way out in front. And after the pit stops, we have Luke Plott in second place, Billy Decker in third, Eddie Marshall and Joe Plozek rounding out the top 5.
The second 5 are Jimmy Horton, Dave Blaney, Jack Johnson, Dwayne Howard, and Danny Johnson. Probably the biggest story there is Decker is in position 3. He has made his pit stop. Positions 1 and 2, they haven't yet stopped.
So Gary, Billy Decker has put himself in wonderful position at this stage of the race.
What a great story that would be. Decker's car is sponsored by Wheels Discount Auto Supply, and they are also the sponsor of this race. That would make a real story.
There's another story to this race annually. The leader of this event on lap 100 takes home $10,000 from P&C Foods. There's a catch. the leader at lap 100, has never gone on to win this race.
That's right, Doug. And Decker, we saw earlier, we've got less than 40 laps to go, so he could easily go to that lap 100 mark. Then you have to make another stop later on. So we'll see how this strategy unfolds here as Decker tries to make his way around the lap car of C.D. Covell. But more important than that, just ahead of Covell is the second place car, Luke Plant. So this is a battle for the #2 spot, Doug.
Mired back in the middle of the pack, Bob McCready and Billy Pausch. Now, both these drivers had terrible situations in the pits.
That's right, Doug. We saw the extended stop for McCready as he made a chassis adjustment. Then he got jammed in the pits, and we saw Pauch's car an extended period on the jack. So that'll cost them dearly as they try to thread their way back through this very, very heavy traffic.
We have another battle for position. This is for 6th place between Jimmy Horton and Dave Blaney, and Blaney has Horton on the outside.
A surprise there. Blaney's car, they had an extended period on the pit road as well for a chassis adjustment. It may not have worked, but Horton's car sticking down on the bottom. We saw that car not handling earlier. They fixed the handling problem there, but there you can see that the Blaney car is still not working. Pushing way out there in turn number 2. And here comes Horton. He'll make the pass as they go down the narrow back straightaway. And Jimmy Horton blasts by Blaney. There's a story there, Doug. That is very, very pivotal.
Teammates last year, but no love lost at all on the race course this year.
There wasn't any love lost last year either. They battled for 1 and 2 like they were not teammates at all. But Jimmy Horton making the pass, and Blaney struggling with a chassis on that Phil Chevrolet automobile. Jack Johnson, we talked earlier about how racy he's feeling this year. Well, he's very much in the hunt here today. Leader Brett Hearn makes his way by Jeff Strunk, the young driver out of Bechtelsville, Pennsylvania. But Hearn has not made a stop yet, and that car may not be working as well as it was earlier. You see it washing out just a bit there in turn number 4.
And we got just a glimpse behind Brett Hearn. Luke Plant has been passed by Billy Decker. Billy Decker is now in 2nd place behind Brett the Jet.
And here's the battle for 5th place. Jimmy Horton all over the rear Nerf bar of Joe Plazik, looking inside and outside in a battle for 5.
Further shuffling, Jack Johnson has passed Dave Blaney for 7.
Slow car between 1 and 2 on the inside rail. Slow car between 1 and 2 inside rail.
And so as you hear and as you see, the yellow caution flag is out for the 93 Auger Manufacturing car of Jeff Strunk.
Jeff, a rookie in this race, was the 1995 track champion at the Susquehanna Speedway. He's only 27 years old. He was hoping for a great run here in the mile today.
Let's go back to Jack Johnson's pass of Dave Blaney down the backstretch, and he just outdrove him out of turn 2.
A lot of muscle from that Kevin Enders power plant, and Jumpin' Jack is jumping on him here today.
And it's decision-making time for Brett Hearn.
Okay, two rears, fill it up. And 4, we're waiting on you.
So our race leader, Brett Hearn, is on pit road. We'll be back with more of the Wheels 300 on Prime.
Over the course of a lifetime, you'll drive over 750,000 miles. Along the way, you'll go through 14 mufflers, 857 quarts of oil, 9 alternators, 98 brake pads, 11 batteries, 120 spark plugs, and a whole lot of other things for your car. All of which you can find at Wheels Discount Auto Parts, because Wheels has over 100,000 parts in stock, discount priced every day. Which means if you like working on your car, you've got a great life ahead of you. Just can't get along without your wheels.
Before you take to the road, head over to Speed & Truck World, South Florida's premier auto accessory and high-performance center. Speed & Truck World has everything to enhance your ride. On-premise customizing, custom graphics, and custom wheels. A complete line of auto and truck parts installed. Suspensions by Rancho. A full-service center for the most complete window tinting. Property protection featuring the best in alarm systems. Take yourself to the next level with Speed & Truck World's high-performance parts and service. Enter a whole new world at Speed & Truck World, 1060 Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale.
Hi, I'm Phil Esposito of the Tampa Bay Lightning. When you play hard, you need to relax. I relax with my Vita Personal Spa. Vita Spa Factory Outlets has over 600 spas at factory direct prices. Hey, look, man, don't get checked at a retail warehouse. Go direct to Vita Spa Factory Outlets. Best prices, best guarantees I ever heard, and over 30 years of service. Now that's a hat trick. Vita Spa Factory Outlets.
Super Dirt Week is actually a week-long extravaganza, and yes, there is time for fun and recreation. Camillus Country Club, just a straight-a-ways drive from the State Fairgrounds. Look at the beautiful foliage. And there's Barefoot Bob McCready, today wearing golf shoes.
His busy racing schedule includes about 100 races a year and doesn't leave a whole lot of time for golf.
But look at this approach shot. That's championship form if I've ever seen it.
Back at the racetrack, David Blaney is on pit road for the second time during this yellow, though this will cost him a lot of track position. He'll fall in at the rear of the pack. Our race leader, Hearn, has made his stop. We have a change up front. It's now Billy Decker leading this race.
Now, is Billy Decker going to go for the $10,000 at lap 100? Let's go down to the pits and Andy Fusco.
Kenny, your brother looks awfully good out there. What's the game plan from here on out?
Well, I think it's just a gas and go. There doesn't seem to be very much tire wear, and the car's just too good to take a chance on the stagger, change it on a new set of tires. So I think we'll just gas and go in the next pit stop.
Obviously, you want the 100-lap bonus. Where do you bring him in the second time?
Well, we're not concerned with the 100-lap bonus. If the caution comes out on lap 95, whether we're leading or whether we're not, we are pitting. We're not going for the halfway. We're going for the win.
I would say there's little doubt about that now.
Certainly established that, didn't it, Doug?
Look at our race leaders: Billy Decker, Eddie Marshall, Joe Plozek, Jimmy Horton, and Danny Johnson, the top 5.
But defending champion Jimmy Horton has a problem. There's smoke showing from the 87.
Motor broke. We're done. Motor broke.
Oh, my. What a tough break for Jimmy Horton. What a great feature, though, to have race communications on the spot, courtesy Bruce Silver's Racing Electronics.
Great communication, but terrible news as Jimmy Horton, the defending champion, pulls to the bottom of the racetrack and heads towards pit road. His race day is over. It was a brand new engine. He was hoping it would carry him to his 3rd ever win here on the Moody Mile at Syracuse, but Jimmy Horton heads slowly down the back straightaway. He'll be headed towards the pits here in just a moment.
We should point out still no yellow flag on the race course. They're still at race speed as Horton is on the inside groove.
And here we see the battle for second place as Joe Plozek is all over Eddie Marshall. Marshall, the young driver out of Pound Ridge, New York, is running in 2, but Plozek chases him down as Jimmy Horton withdraws from the race and goes behind pit wall.
A disappointing afternoon for Jimmy Horton. He's going to park the thing.
And back on the racetrack, here's the battle for 2. Marshall has it. Plozek wants it. Running in position 4, the black 6 of Danny Johnson. And 5 is the orange 7 of Payne. Then the lap car of Ricky. And we pick up the 6th place running Alan Johnson. The Johnson brothers battling it out here on the Moody Mile. Their mom and dad, Milton Joyce, watching from the grandstand, hoping that their drivers can win here today. Alan has won it on a couple of occasions. Danny never has. Problem on the racetrack is Gary Tompkins parks the Darrell Simmons car.
And Andy Fusco is catching up with a crestfallen Jimmy Horton.
Jimmy Horton, defending champion of the race. You don't want him to end this way.
No, you don't want to be sitting in here watching it.
Motor go?
Yeah, motor let go.
How does tire wear? How did things feel while you were out there?
We were just steadily working at it. You know, the car wasn't right in the beginning. We were gaining on it. The car was getting better. You know, just one of them deals.
A lot of rumors. What's your plans for next year?
Driving this 87 as far as I know.
Yellow flag out on lap 93, just 7 laps short of that magical lap number 100 into $10,000. Let's watch and listen.
Want me to pit? Yes, yes, get in here. Yes, please pit.
Boy, how many folks would say, please come in off the track and in the process kiss away $10,000?
True to his word, the Billy Decker team is foregoing the $10,000 bonus for lap 100 here on lap number 93. They're bringing the man in, just a gas and go. This one's going to be less than 10 seconds. They don't want 10 grand. They want the 100 grand if this pays to win.
And it's obvious, Gary, that Decker feels he can go the rest of the way after this pit stop.
It's a long way to go, however, Doug. 95 laps, but obviously that's everybody's strategy. All the front runners are on pit road. Here we see Bob McCready's car. Oh, it's not firing. They're pushing it. The crew has come along. The car does not fire. They're going to push it, try to get it to start. Oh, my goodness. What a problem. The master of going faster's car has stalled on pit road. The crew is actually going to go right out on the racetrack. Unbelievable, Doug. We're under yellow, so not a real problem here, but this is basically unheard of. The crew pushing the car on the racetrack, trying to get it to fire, and finally it pulls away.
So what an incredible spectacle watching Bob McCready's pit crew push his car all the way out onto the track before it would fire. We'll be back on Prime.
Brand new this holiday season, Dirt Sportswear Direct. Surprise the ones on your gift list with the latest Dirt Motorsports apparel and collectibles. Sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and driver tees keep you warm in the off-season, while kids will enjoy the Dirt Modified Matchbox Series. Every race fan will want to add to their video collection from the Dirt Video Library, including 1995 Super Dirt Week action. All this and much more in the official Dirt Motorsports Sportswear catalog. Call today for your free copy. 1-800-979-DIRT. Visa and MasterCard accepted.
Can France and Italy, Austria and England, Germany, Spain, and the Netherlands ever really agree on a single currency? Actually, they already have. Gold MasterCard. It's accepted at more cash machines around the world.
Excuse me, guy.
Than any other card. Gold MasterCard. It's more than a gold card. It's smart money.
At Aramark, we know great things happen when you put on a uniform. Aramark Uniform Services, America's largest uniform company.
Prime, serving America's great sports networks.
Recently, I've been asked, what can a client at Jacobson Goodman count on? As an attorney at Jacobson Goodman, we believe in making you part of the process, returning your calls promptly, treating you the way we would want to be treated if we were the client. If you've been the victim of an automobile accident, medical malpractice, or faulty product, we will evaluate your claim promptly so we may bring it to an early conclusion. Look for our local number in the white pages. Call Jacobson Goodman now, righting wrongs for over 20 years.
Welcome back to the New York State Fairgrounds for the Wheels 300. And Gary, we have a new leader, Danny Johnson.
Danny has won hundreds of races, but he's never won here on the Moody Mile. His best finish ever here, third last year. He's up front, color change for 1995. That may be his good luck charm. Ricky rides in 2, Alan Johnson is 3 as we go back to green flag racing.
On lap 96, Craig Van Doren is 4th, Lou Blaney 5th, and Pete Bicknell is in 6th, but the race leader is the doctor, Danny Johnson.
Chasing now that $10,000 bonus, and we've only got 3.5 laps to go to see who will collect it. Danny leads. Ricky right there in second, looking very, very strong. Alan Johnson with a new team for this race only, driving the Emmett Bros 702, hangs on to a good close third spot. Here we see a lot of congestion on the back straightaway as Billy Decker tries to thread his way back through the field. Right behind him is Brett Hearn.
To the front of the pack once again, Danny Johnson in first, and it's Mike Ricky and Alan Johnson, this battle for second place.
And it is a great one indeed. 2 second-generation drivers. Look at this, 3 and 4 wide down the front straightaway, and Decker up on the outside rim riding as he goes by Jack Johnson with reckless abandon, charging off into turns 1 and 2. Hearn watching from just behind him, and down on the bottom of the racetrack is the 33 of Hetzler. They're going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway. Here comes Hearn. He's going to thread the needle outside of Hetzler, inside of Decker. What a battle there. Again, they're working their way from the back of the pack after those pit stops that have just been completed. Hearn has passed Decker as they enter turn number 3, now in turn 4. Hetzler runs down on the bottom of the racetrack. What a traffic jam. Oh, contact. Cozy is in trouble. Cozy runs up against the wall and collects Decker in the process. Jack Johnson is involved down on the bottom of the racetrack as McCready, the front end is all bent up on McCready's car. Decker's car severely damaged. Cozy's car rests against the wall. Oh, what carnage here, and we're just short of lap 100.
The steering wheel comes off the car number 9 of Bob McCready. Meanwhile, Billy Decker, what a promising afternoon, suddenly ended.
And here's Doug Hoffman's car. He was also involved in the altercation. The front end of that car is all bent up. Blaney's car running right behind him as we work under yellow. Hoffman's so very, very frustrated. He's never won this race. He's been close on a number of occasions. He's been struggling here today, but right now he struggles simply to keep his car straight on the racetrack under yellow.
Let's take a look once again at the incident in turn 4. Look at Doug Hoffman's right front tire. It's already damaged. Did he trigger this accident?
I think so, Doug. He was slow, and that caused the jam fest behind him. And here we see the jamming going on against the wall. Heavy contact, but somehow or other, Doug, Brett Hearn has made his way through all this mess.
One man who did not make it through, Barefoot Bob McCready, and his new race car is down at the bottom of the track. He is out of this race.
Tough break for this driver and the team that had worked so hard. Here we see Billy Decker making his way back to the pit area. Very, very disappointed, of course. He was probably the strongest car here today, with the possible exception of Hearn. But his race day is over early. Here's Bob McCready waving off to his crew, saying that we can't fix it, guys. He's going behind pit wall. So a great, great effort on the part of the McCready crew. Comes up short here today. And look at this, Doug. We're coming down to lap 100. Alan Johnson pulls inside. He can't pick up the money. Nobody can pass under yellow. And Danny Johnson is going to idle across the line to pick up $10,000 at about maybe 20 miles an hour. Who would have thought it, Doug?
Bob McCready, your feelings?
What are you going to do? You know, I'm disappointed.
Everybody talking about this car this week. You looked awfully comfortable out there, and then all of a sudden a couple of things go wrong, totally unexpected.
No, I mean, everything was going all right. We were just trying to get it situated for the end of the race. We weren't racing. We were just trying to stay out of trouble. I don't know what happened up front. Whatever happened, happened.
There will be critics who will say that the front end of your car was too fragile for this track.
I guess Billy Decker's whole car was too fragile then.
Tough afternoon for Bob McCready and a tough situation for Frank Cozy. The veteran driver appears to be a little bit shaken up, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Let's go on board now with Danny Johnson.
They're working on the fence over there, Dan. Just sit tight. Just sit tight, but be ready. No, let's come in, Funk. Let's come in, okay? Okay, Dan. We're ready.
As Danny Johnson heads down pit road to the attention of his crew, he's wearing a $10,000 smile.
And we'll take a look one more time and listen to that incident in turn 4.
Hearn just passed Decker in traffic. Hessler is right there. Hearn, look at this, on a goal! Oh, Decker is in the wall! Wheel off of Frank Cozy's car. McCready is involved. The front end of McCready's car is done in. Hoffman's car is damaged. Oh my goodness, what a devastating crash.
Show me a guy who's looking this good, and I'll show you a guy who reads Men's Fitness magazine. For workouts that really work, for great tasting foods that keep you energized, for ways to make your sex life sizzle, for updates on state-of-the-art gear. Subscribe now, and you'll also get this free video revealing the best workouts, the right equipment, secrets of the pros, and much more. The video is yours free with your paid subscription to Men's Fitness. 1 full year, 12 great issues for just $19.97. That's $22 off the cover price, a savings of over 50%. There's no risk. Cancel anytime for a refund and still keep the video.
So call now. That's 1-800-652-2112. 1-800-652-2112. That's 1-800-652-2112.
Do you believe in the magic?
Oh, baseline crossover. Reverse goes. Oh, beauty. Oh, he crossed him up and knocked him down.
The Jazz at the Magic, Friday at 7:30, live on Sunshine.
Back at the New York State Fairgrounds on Prime, the Wheels 300, and Brett Hearn is the leader, followed by Joe Plosick, Steve Payne, Jack Johnson, and Dave Blaney, the top 5.
Well, the race strategy is all played out now, Doug. We're down to 35 laps, 35 miles to settle this thing, and the green flag is in the air. They're back and racing. Hearn pulls away, opens up about a 4-car length advantage over Plosick as they race off into turn number 1.
And Dave Blaney has ducked underneath Jack Johnson. Dave Blaney now runs in 4th position.
Well, Billy Taylor and crew have finally got that car working well. Here we see Steve Payne running in the number 3 spot. Rounding out the top 10 right now are Bicknell, Pouch, Danny Johnson, Richard Tobias Jr., and Luke Plant.
There's a look at the number 1 of Billy Pouch. He started 4th, currently runs 7th, and what a story in guts and determination.
That's right, Doug. He broke his arm at Knoxville a few weeks ago. He's doing double duty here this weekend. Interestingly enough, he owns a track record for both sprint cars and modifieds here on the Moody Mile.
Now, he's not quite as fast today because we just saw Danny Johnson pass him. So Danny Johnson is in 7th place, and Billy Pouch has fallen back to 8th.
Remember, Danny Johnson has already won $10,000. He's never won here on the Moody Mile. He's a threatening force wherever he races. He is really working well here today. Richard Tobias Jr., what a story here. He won a couple of years ago. He came from the non-qualifiers race this morning. He's running in the top 10. Jack Cottrell showing in your screen along with the 115 of Kenny Tremont. Down the front straightaway, Billy Pouch is now working on Danny Johnson. He wants that spot back. Danny Johnson, meanwhile, is reeling in Canadian driver Pete Bicknell in the orange and white car number X1.
And Billy Pouch is out of shape.
Oh, he's lost the wheel. What a great bit of driving. He did not make contact with the wall, but it looked like the whole wheel came off the car. Moments ago, locked up in a great battle with Danny Johnson for the number 6 spot. Now he struggles slowly down the back straightaway. This could very well bring out a yellow flag.
And in fact, Gary, the yellow is out for Billy Pouch. Well, you know, disappointments like this don't begin and end with the drivers. Andy Fusco was in the pits with car sponsor and race sponsor Gail Mitchell.
Gail, got to be a melancholy moment. Great event, but a sad day, and that Billy crashed.
Well, it is a great day, and the Wheels 300 is a great race, but our number one man had the number 1 car out there, and it's a shame to see the number 1 car, get taken out the way he did. It's just, unfortunately, that's racing.
Your thoughts when you see something like that happen?
My stomach turns upside down. My heart goes in my throat. The number one thing I want to know is he all right?
And everybody thought it was just tough on the drivers.
But did you see the dejected look, too, on Billy Decker? He really felt he was going to win this race.
Looking very, very strong. He won here on the 4th of July. He's never won this race, and it looked like he had great chance here today.
All right, the green flag is back out. 27 laps remaining. Brett the Jet Hearn continues to lead. Joe Plazek second. Steve Payne third. Dave Blaney fourth.
Joe Plazek in a great, great run here this afternoon. He's been close on a number of occasions as well. Right now, he's holding on, and holding on to that number 2 spot is Steve Payne, who's finished second here, is trying to run him down. So Payne runs in 3 with Blaney tucked into 4. You can't count out the Buckeye Bullet, but he's got Pete Bicknell and Jack Johnson trying to run him down. Danny Johnson still runs in the top 10 as well. You got a long way to go, and there's Danny showing on your screen as he has now caught Bicknell as they battle in turn number 3. And there's that hole, Doug, that's developing there. The racetrack breaking up just a little bit here with about 25 laps to go.
And with about 25 laps to go, we have quite a battle for position behind Brett Hearn, all involving Joe Plazek, Steve Payne, Dave Blaney, Jack Johnson, and Pete Bicknell.
And here is Blaney running all over the Payne car. Payne's car washes out just a bit, leaving turn 2, but it was not enough to allow Blaney to make the pass. Jack Johnson still very much in the hunt as well, Doug. We're getting down to nitty-gritty time here in this 188-lap race.
Back to the front of the pack, there's Brett Hearn, there's Joe Plazek, that's first and second. The battle on the race course, 3, 4, and 5 between Payne, Blaney, and Jack Johnson.
They're sort of under a big blanket, and here we see Blaney going to the outside of Payne. This guy runs with reckless abandon. His best finish here is second. He likes to win races, not run second. He's not at all happy with this. He's up on the outside, rim riding down the back straightaway. He has affected the pass of Steve Payne, or has he? Yes, he stays on the gas longer, dives into turn 3, outnerved the young man from Waterloo. Blaney is on the move.
Dave Blaney's never been one to save anything for the end. Could a strategy be different today?
We're just trying to run it to the end right now and try to get these guys on restarts, and that's how we're doing it. One at a time.
I wouldn't bet against him. And look at Joe Plazek. He is closing in on our race leader, Brett Hearn.
Right there. It's right there.
The lap car of Donnie Ackner playing a factor in the battle for the number 1 spot of this race. Here comes Hearn on the outside. Plazek looks down to the bottom. Now they're up on the outside as they run off into turn number 1.
It's right there. Okay, you got some room now.
Ackner's car now blocking the progress of Joe Plazek as Hearn has opened up about a 5-car length advantage, stretching it out to maybe 6 as they race down the back straightaway.
And so Brett Hearn is extending his lead once again on Joe Plazek.
But we've just got a report over the radio that Hearn has radioed to his crew that the car is sputtering here on the front straightaway for the past couple of laps.
Now, is that fuel related? And Gary, if so, how well are these fellas set up to run the rest of the way?
Well, they are going to be very close, but I think this is too early to have it be a fuel problem. And there is definitely some problem because Plazik is right on the rear Nerf bar now of Hearn as they race down the back straightaway.
And we have a sprint race right now. Brett Hearn and Joe Plazik, first and second at the Wheels 300.
And Joe Plazik digging way down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's never won this race. Hearn has won it 4 times, trying to become the first ever 5-time winner. So we've got a battle royale going on at the head of the class, Doug. Plazik's car sticking on the bottom. The lap car apprentice could be a factor as they work down the back straightaway.
It's Brett Hearn and Joe Plazik, and nervous times in Syracuse. It doesn't get much better than this. The Wheels 300 on Prime.
Before you take to the road, head over to Speed & Truck World, South Florida's premier auto accessory and high-performance center. Speed & Truck World has everything to enhance your ride. On-premise customizing, custom graphics, and custom wheels. A complete line of auto and truck parts installed. Suspensions by Rancho. A full-service center for the most complete window tinting. Property protection featuring the best in alarm systems. Take yourself to the next level with Speed & Truck World's high-performance parts and service. Enter a whole new world at Speed & Truck World, 1060 Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale.
Please discourage direct comparison of our sets with the Toshiba Theater View. Should just write this. We do not yet have the combination of picture quality, true home theater sound, and overall value of Theater View. Where's my typewriter? Please place our sets as far away as possible from the Toshiba Theater View, period.
Our competition won't go near the Toshiba Theater View, because compared to Theater View, everything else is just a big TV.
All my life was a paper, once plain, pure, and white.
When it comes to quality and a real choice of colors, there's nothing like Benjamin Moore paint. And the only place you can find Benjamin Moore paint is at your Benjamin Moore dealer. Benjamin Moore, a stroke of brilliance.
You decorated my life.
Doug Logan along with Gary Montgomery back at the New York State Fairgrounds. The Wheels 300 on Prime, and there's no change at the top. Brett Hearn continues to lead, but look, Joe Plazik is losing ground.
Doug, he's got a problem, and Blaney is closing in. I don't know what it could be. Perhaps we talked about fuel earlier. It could be that he's running out of gasoline.
There's Joe's wife, Sue, and the crew members cheering him on, but it's looking like a little bit of a lost cause because Joe is sputtering badly.
5 to go, 5 to go. I don't think we're going to make it.
15 Carly Slade just pounded the front stretch wall. It's still going. Just keep driving her. Keep driving her.
With only 4 laps to go, Joe Plazik has radioed into his crew that his car is sputtering. He thinks it's running out of fuel. They're on standby in case they have to have a last-second stop and go. Ironically, Brett Hearn pitted before Plazik, but he looks like he's in good shape mileage-wise.
Gary, how do you account for that disparity?
It's got to be something in the motor, Doug.
Lady coming high. Going back to 8. How many laps left, Ed?
First lap 186. There's 2 left after this one. Close to the next car.
He's the next car. He was about 25 car lengths behind you.
As Joe Plazik goes through his tribulations, Brett Hearn continues to lead with 2 laps to go.
Okay, got a full straightaway on Dave Blaney.
And he's looking good, Gary.
Oh, how quickly things can change. Just a moment ago, it looked like he wouldn't win this race, and now he could be the first ever 5-time champion. Coming in, he was tied with Gary Ballou for 4 wins apiece. Right now, a full straightaway advantage over Blaney, who runs in position number 2.
And so Brett Hearn, the consummate champion here at the Moody Mile, is running away with this race in its final stages. Look at the nervous anticipation from the crew in the pits as Brett Hearn has less than a lap to go.
And here we see Joe Plazik trying to struggle the car and slosh the gasoline around in the fuel cell that coax it home without losing many more spots. But Hearn very much in command. Last lap as he races down the back straightaway and on his way to history. 5 times a winner here on the mile in the Wheels 300.
Brett Hearn out of turn 4, looking smooth, nice and easy. The final turn, the front straightaway, the checkered flag is out, and the champion of the Wheels 300 is Brett Hearn. Jubilation in the Brett Hearn pit. Dave Blaney finishes second, Steve Payne third, Jack Johnson fourth, and Joe Plazik a disappointing 5th place finisher. But what a day for Brett Hearn.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Holy moly.
History here at Syracuse. Brett Hearn now a 5-time winner. We'll be back on Prime.
A lot of folks in Johnson City, Tennessee will tell you when you need a part for your car, go to AutoZone. The parts are top quality, the prices are low, and the people are helpful, like Gary Jennings. You see, when it comes to auto parts, folks will tell you Gary really knows his stuff. Oh, sure, they know there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Gary, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Brand new this holiday season, Dirt Sportswear Direct. Surprise the ones on your gift list with the latest Dirt Motorsports apparel and collectibles. Sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and driver tees keep you warm in the off-season, while kids will enjoy the Dirt Modified Matchbox Series. Every race fan will want to add to their video collection from the Dirt Video Library, including 1995 Super Dirt Week action. All this and much more in the official Dirt Motorsports Sportswear catalog. Call today for your free copy, 1-800-979-DIRT. Visa and MasterCard accepted.
Over the course of a lifetime, you'll drive over 750,000 miles. Along the way, you'll go through 14 mufflers, 857 quarts of oil, 9 alternators, 98 brake pads, 11 batteries, 120 spark plugs, and a whole lot of other things for your car. All of which you can find at Wheels Discount Auto Parts, because Wheels has over 100,000 parts in stock, discount priced every day. Which means if you like working on your car, you've got a great life ahead of you. Just can't get along without your wheels.
This huge throng has just witnessed Super Dirt Week history. In just 11 starts, Brett Hearn is in victory lane as our first ever 5-time champion.
Brett Hearn, the first ever 5-time winner of this race. 5 diamond rings, 1 for the thumb.
I feel like AJ. Man, I'll tell you, this is fantastic. This is probably the most dominating win that I've had in all the ones that I've done, and the most perfectly executed race. Everything just fell in our lap. It really wasn't one that you could chalk up to luck. We had the fast car today, and we just got it back to the front after our pit stops, exactly the way that we planned it last night. And it just went absolutely perfect. The only concern we had was gas mileage. We had the engine sputtered 3 times with about 30 laps to go on the front straightaway. That cleared away. I don't know. I have no idea what that was, but Tony File did a great job with the engine, and Bobby, my brother, did a great job with the car. And you know, I'm numb right now. I'm in awe of this again.
Dave Blaney with a second place finish here today. Dave, considering everything that happened, not at all in all a bad run.
No, it wasn't that bad. We was kind of all over. We weren't very good early, and then we got it real good, and then we weren't good, and then we were kind of all over the place. And we was lucky enough to make it there on gas. We was real close, but we made it a little bit.
Gary, look at the exultation of Brett Hearn, a 5-time champion.
And at only 37 years of age, I suspect we'll be seeing more of this here at Syracuse.
As the celebration continues, let's check out our official order of finish. In winning, Brett Hearn takes home over $118,000.
Rounding out the top 10, great run for Canadian Luc Plant.
Finishing 11th, Craig Van Doren. And down in 14th, it's Rick Mill.
Finishing in the number 17 spot was Blaney's teammate, Z.D. Covell.
Dave Blaney's father, Lou, finishes 23rd.
Final 23-20 Bills. They win the AFC East.